August 14th, 1984. Sector 4. The clocks did not stop. On the contrary, they began to turn far too quickly. Time is not a smooth river. Sometimes it leaks. And when time leaks, human biology pays the price. Seconds become decades. If you are watching this, your clock has already begun to leak. Now, do not look at the time. August 14th, 1984. A date that has been completely purged from all public records. In the small, quiet residential area, officially designated by the department as Sector 4, an unprecedented anomaly took hold. It began in silence, a microscopic tear in the local fabric of time itself. To the untrained eye, the world appeared perfectly normal. The streets were still. The cars were parked in their driveways. The houses stood motionless in the summer heat. Initial reports from local monitoring stations flagged the event as a minor electromagnetic disturbance. Government officials, they assumed it was a routine power grid failure, or perhaps atmospheric interference. They believed it would pass by morning. They were catastrophically wrong. What they failed to understand was that the fabric of reality wasn't just bending, it was fraying. By the time the first containment units arrived at the perimeter, the anomaly had already anchored itself into the environment. The air became heavy, static, charged. The shadows stretched in impossible directions. And within the borders of Sector 4, the linear progression of human existence simply stopped. Every clock within a 5-mile radius refused to sync with the world outside. The mechanism of time had failed. The leak had begun. The first symptom of temporal decay is entirely mechanical. Before flesh and bone begin to rot, the machines attempt to warn us. In Sector 4, these initial signs were fatally ignored. It started with the wristwatches. They began to tick backwards, not steadily, but in violent, erratic jerks. Digital alarm clocks on bedside tables flashed impossible timestamps. Hours and minutes that do not exist in our planetary cycle. 2781, 9999. The internal oscillators of these primitive devices were trying to process a timeline that was literally folding in on itself. The gears of heavy antique clocks ground themselves to fine metallic dust. Their mainsprings snapped with enough force to shatter glass, desperately trying to keep pace with a reality that was rapidly accelerating. We documented this anomaly as the anomalous clock syndrome. Devices built to measure our reality were suddenly crushed by it. Within hours, basic physics began to fracture under the strain. A security camera in a suburban home captured a ceiling fan spinning so violently it shattered its own blades. Yet the broken pieces did not fall. They remained suspended in midair, caught in a dead zone of time. Water dripping from a kitchen faucet hung motionless, frozen in space for exactly 72 hours before crashing down like heavy, solid glass, fracturing the porcelain basin below. Time was no longer a constant, invisible force. It was pooling in dark corners. It was flooding certain rooms like a heavy, toxic gas, while completely draining from others, creating absolute vacuums of existence. The machines didn't break. They simply adapted to a broken universe. And once the machines surrendered, the biological phase began. Once the mechanical infrastructure completely surrendered, the true, unsettling nature of Sector 4 finally revealed itself. The human body is, after all, a biological machine. But it is a machine strictly programmed to operate within the safe parameters of linear time. When exposed to raw, unshielded temporal radiation, human cells do not simply age. They violently fast forward through existence. This brings us to Subject 09, a healthy 32-year-old male retrieved by containment teams from the eastern perimeter of the isolation zone. He was placed inside Observation Room B, strapped securely to a steel medical chair. Initially, the subject showed absolutely no external signs of contamination. He was responsive, coherent, and pleading to go home. But time, as we quickly learned, acts like an aggressive parasite once it breaks containment. At exactly 14:02, the localized temporal drift activated within his cellular structure. The air around him began to shimmer with heavy kinetic heat. The medical monitors hooked to his chest suddenly went into a frenzy, documenting a heart rate that accelerated far beyond known biological limits. The heart was attempting to pump blood for a lifetime of beats in a matter of mere seconds. The security footage captured a terrifying anomaly. In the span of exactly 3 minutes, Subject 09 experienced 54 years of continuous, uninterrupted cellular decay. His hair lost its pigment instantaneously, turning a dead, brittle white. His skin lost all elasticity, cracking and folding over rapidly deteriorating muscle tissues that were turning to ash beneath the surface. The internal bone structure collapsed inward as severe, weaponized osteoporosis claimed his skeleton in the blink of an eye. He didn't scream. He couldn't. The brutal acceleration of time paralyzed his vocal cords before he could even draw a single breath into his collapsing lungs. The human brain simply cannot process half a century of physical degradation injected directly into the nervous system all at once. Subject 09 did not die of old age. He was crushed to death by the sheer weight of his own accelerated future. Following the catastrophic biological failure in Observation Room B, the department initiated Emergency Protocol 0 Chronos. Sector 4 was completely severed from the outside world. Heavy military containment units locked down every exit road, every highway, and every dirt path leading into the valley. The official statement fed to the public was a severe chemical spill at a local industrial plant. A lie designed to keep the world from panicking. But you cannot contain a virus made of time with concrete walls and barbed wire. As the night progressed, the anomaly expanded. Surveillance teams stationed at the border began reporting faint, rhythmic ticking sounds echoing from the empty forests. It wasn't the sound of mechanical clocks. It was the sound of the environment itself, vibrating at a corrupted frequency. The grass, the trees, the very air, everything was sinking to the leak. By 4 a.m., all communication with the internal containment teams was completely lost. The final transmitted audio file contained nothing but 30 minutes of synchronized, deafening heartbeat sounds, followed by absolute silence. Sector 4 had been entirely consumed by the dilation. Today, the area remains a dead zone, a black hole on the map where entry is strictly forbidden, and reality is no longer governed by the laws of physics. The department has classified this footage to prevent further psychological drift among the populace, because the most dangerous discovery of the Sector 4 incident wasn't that time could leak. It was how the leak spreads. It doesn't require physical contact. It doesn't travel through the air. It transmits through information, through data, through sound waves, through the very images you have just witnessed over the last 8 minutes. If you can hear a faint ticking sound in the room you are currently sitting in, the drift is already anchored within your space. The anomaly is active. Whatever you do,